everyone. Welcome back again to another exciting episode of the Iconist podcast. You can tell that I'm excited. This is Barry 3D coming to you. And as always, I got to sit here with the man, the myth, the legend, the man that only needs 2 minutes of sleep but can perform for 48 hours DJing straight, nonstop. It's an inside joke. He needs sleep. He's sleep deprived, the one and only my cousin, who will make you go and bounce and put you in a la la land and wake you up early in the morning still spinning the jams. Who am I talking about? My man,
Rod C. Let's go, people.
We're here today. Rod C.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. So we're going to kick it off. As you can tell, the icon is today Adam Strange. But before we get into that, let's kick it off with this. You know me, Barry 3D. You want to find what I'm going to be doing? Barry3D.com. That's got my links for everything from this show, the other show that I'm on, which is A Touch of Gray Matter, my boys, Dave Sokolowski, Thomas Patrice, Zulf Ali, and our online experiences as A Touch of Gray Matter, and live, once again, coming to Montreal on August 26th, August 27th, shows at 7 and 10 o'clock. That is a Friday and Saturday. Come on out. Let's get down. Let's have a good time.
Let's go.
And it's for a good cause, right? So we're raising money for the Shriners Hospital. So you come out, you laugh, you eat, and know that part of the portion of that, the proceeds that we're collecting are going to a good cause. So it's a win-win-win for everybody. Go. And so we got to do a great shout out too before we kind of get into it. So as always, my man, Jimmy England from Back to the Balcony, look for the microphone on the red background. That's a podcast that I'm on. And it's a podcast as a guest, that is. And it's a podcast that is very funny. He's on season 7. Holy crap. Keep it going, Jimmy. Woo. You got to support the live books. What I mean by the live books, get to the comic book stores, because if you don't buy the books, we got nothing to talk about. So here it comes down to, if you go in Kitchener, hit out Wow Comics, Warehouse of Wonder, with my boy Wes, Ramon, Sydney, and Chris. Tell them I said hi, that we sent you. We filmed stuff there. Look back at some of the videos. You see me running through the store real quick. And I'm going to be in the area on July 31st on Crazy Canuck at, out in Kitchener, doing comedy with my boy Andrew Searles, who also is doing a show August 26th and August 27th in Montreal. So he's going to do the same one, Chocolat, and us, Touch of Gray Matter, are doing the Walking to Montreal tour because gas is too damn expensive.
Talk about it.
Right on. And then I've got the main players covered. So Rod, where can people find you to have them lullaby jams, wake them up in the morning and put them to bed at night?
You can find me on the World Wide Web, as I said, on Instagram. I'm Mr. Rod C, MRRODC. Plus, you also find me where I can give you that musical jam of musical vibes on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJ Rod C. Listen, we're going to have some fun today. We got to do one more shout out. We got to do a shout out for the man. The legend, the one who makes us looking good, the one who just makes us looking all pretty with all the logos and everything like that. The one, the only, the man, the legend, the man himself, a.k.a. J-Bird Digital Arts.
J-Bird Digital Arts. Hit him up. Jason Reese, how you doing? He's working on templates right now for us for some new stuff. And we got these templates as you're seeing here. You see our social media presence. You see the stuff for Touch of Gray Matter. Anything that we are pretty much attached to, Jason does. He's the hookup.
He touches. He gives it the final touch.
That's great. How many episodes in? Every episode we talk about Jason. Why? Because he's that damn good. He's like Logan. He's like Wolverine. The best he is and what he does. But what he does is pretty.
Very, very, very nice. Yes. Very nice indeed. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I had too much energy. I think I slept well last night. Sorry, Rod. I don't mean to rub that in you. I know you
it's all right.
2 minutes of sleep.
Yeah. 2.4.
2.4. Those 40 seconds count.
Yeah. Hamburger. Let's go.
Hamburger. Yes. Hamburger. I love that comedian. Hamburger. Why do you say hamburger all the time? Well, I had to do clean shows and I don't want to swear. So instead of swearing, I say hamburger. Smart. I say, yeah. All right. Now I'm going to say, every time I'm going to swear, I'm going to say Iconist.
Nice.
Iconus. Here we go.
Oh.
So the icon is today Adam Strange. Right? I know we've done a lot of Marvel love on this show. And it's not to say that we discriminate against others. It's just that's who we affiliate. So we're going to make sure we go shine and be more broad in horizons to bring this to you.
We're balancing out. That's what we're doing.
Right, so right. Because we don't just read Marvel. We read Marvel, DC, Image, Top Cow, all the independent books, man. You IDW. We read it all. The independent. Oh, jeez. If it's in comic book form, it's crossing these eyes. Get the
eyes. About to say, you don't know what these eyes have seen. Oh my goodness! If you only understood what these eyes have seen. Oh, I've seen so much. The happiness, not the horror. The happiness. Not the horror, the happiness. Look, man,
I read some stuff. Let me put this way. I read so much that I used to have 20/20 vision. Now I wear glasses. Okay, here we go.
We'll leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Right on. So as I said, we're going to talk about Adam Strange today, and we thought Adam Strange. He's a cool character, and he's funky. And when I mean funky, I mean that in a good way. He's gone through. He's been around. Okay, let's just break it down. So Adam Strange made his first appearance in Showcase issue number 17.
When was that? Showcase 17? Carry the 4.
Yeah, let me break this down for you. In the year of November 1958.
Hey, that's
Iconus.
Let's go back. Way back.
He made, that was his first appearance. Now, keep in mind, Showcase, you might have heard us mention this before. Showcase Comics was it was like DC Presents, like Showcase, and new writers and artists got to work on this and do like little like 2-arc, 3-story arc stories, sometimes just a one-shot in this as a showcase to say, hey, this is why we should be on the big books. It was, think of it as NXT to WWE. Right? Nice. You got to get on NXT first and see how well you do. We get onto the main page. So you had to do well in Showcase to see if your characters, your writing style, your art style was appealing to the masses to kind of be brought up to the big league. So you were just being trained. That was how the best way you can look at Showcase Comics. And I think Showcase should come back. And that's a different conversation for a different time. But, so issue number 17, 1958, Adam Strange is created. Now, I know that when they say Adam Strange is created, people forget about one particular person, because here they're saying it's Julius Shorts and Murphy Anderson were the creators, but they keep forgetting, and it was even in Julius Shorts' memoirs, Man of Two Worlds, I think that's the name of the book, that he does credit Gardner Fox. Right? Now, Gardner Fox, who's Gardner Fox? Think of Gardner Fox as Stan Lee for DC. Gardner Fox was behind Adam Strange, Justice Society, Hawkman. He was really there in a lot of the creation process. So you can either put him on par with Stan Lee, or you can put him up there with Jack the King Kirby. He was a major force behind a lot of the DC characters and books.
Done.
He gets the Iconus clap. What's that? Hit my microphone. That's it. That's it. A few claps and put it up right there. Yeah, that's the best. I keep hitting my microphone. Sorry about the background noise. Here we go. That's my Iconus clap. Just, I just made that up. Man, I'm so creative. Yeah, when you see me do the Iconus clap, there we go. We'll put this into a dance move. Right on. So, why Adam Strange? Why not?
Definitely, why not?
Adam Strange had a little bit of love in media. And when I say a little bit of love, this character could have been a lot more than what he was from what we've seen. So what I mean by that is his origin. He is from Earth, right? Cool. Very much. His name's Adam Strange. Okay. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. And he was also the hero of a planet called Rann, Rann. Now he's been part of the Justice League Unlimited, Seven Soldiers of Victory, Rebels. He's teamed up with Sardith, who is the main guy over on Rann, and he's good friends with Hawkman and Hawkwoman. Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Right. And when they had to cover the Rann Thangarian War way back in Showcase issues, like I think 101 to 103, which were my favorite, where they had to bring in the Shadow Thief and all that. And I know people read the Thangarian War right now with Adam Strange and Hawkman. They're like, whoa, that's cool. Why do you know why this pairing was happening? All the way back in the 60s. Okay. So that's to show you how strong the storyline is and how these characters intertwine. So he starts off on Earth as your average archaeologist. Right?
Oh,
you know, he's being chased. He's doing some research and he's being chased by he's investigating some pyramids in the Inca region, and he's being chased by a tribe there, and they're about to kill him, and he's running away and trying to escape. Now, at the same time, light years away in the Alpha Centauri system, you have Sardith, who's making a communication device to reach out to the nearest person to communicate. So he makes this Zeta beam to put through the transmission. So he was trying to be Bluetooth before Bluetooth over intergalactic reaches.
Very, very good. Very good. Definitely.
Right?
Bluetooth before Bluetooth.
But that's what he was trying to do, because they needed help. Because on Rann, Rann, they went through an apocalyptic situation. There's no grass growing. They live in cities that are kind of domed and higher above the ground of the standard radiation. They're kind of getting past it. So the land is desolate. They've lost their abilities to fight. What I mean by that, they're very docile as a race. They're trying to be very peace-like because the war took them right to the edge, and after it, they don't have much. So they're very scientifically smart, but they're not war-thinking people who are left. It's like a whole town of pacifists, but they need a hero.
I'm looking out for a hero at the end of the night.
Yes. Bring back the 80s. So they're trying to communicate, to kind of establish communications to see if they can work out some kind of trade embargo, something along the lines to help them out to, trade their technology to get resources to help save their planet. Adam's running for his life. All of a sudden, by coinkydink, zap, Adam gets hit with the Zeta beam, and it doesn't communicate. It teleports.
What was that?
Adam leaves Earth. Boom, uploaded onto Rann, gets there and busts a what? And sees his future girlfriend, wife. Looks around, they start talking, figuring this out. He explained what's going on, and he's like, oh, well, I can be your hero. Now, the thing is, a couple of things we got to take about some notes on. One, Gardner Fox, or I can't remember if it was Gardner or Julius.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. One of them was really into like science in school.
Okay.
Right? I think it was Julius. I really into science in school. And forgive me, I know I should have had it more prepared. My bad. It's old man brain. And in school, literally like science in school. So turn around and he put a lot of actual tidbits of science in it. He didn't make it far-fetched. He wanted to have a little bit of realism in it. So that's what I liked about that. Now, even though we're talking, he's probably only putting in 6th grade science in it, not university levels. That's okay. Science is still science, like my man Dexter would say. Dexter's Laboratory.
Nice.
It's all for science. And that's where this character came from. But the influence is blatantly obvious.
Yes.
Rod, do you know what the influences are for Adam Strange?
Well, I look at this and realizing that did we ever talk about John Carter? I'm just trying to think.
No, we have not talked about John Carter.
But that's something.
But we should see that both of our last names are Carter.
Valid, real talk right there. But I mean, there's influence with science and everything like that. But what I take back when I hear the story of the Zeta beam and being transported to another world,
right?
I think of John Carter, from Mars. So that was the same. That to me was always realizing that came before. So that was created in the like 1917 or 1920s. Like John Carter came out. So for all I could believe that there was a nice influence from there that Julius, and Garner kind of like thinking, hey, let's do something, that particular one has not been done in a while, and we can just do our little own spin on it, which I find I like. That's just me. I just like that.
Yeah. Because first of all, Edgar Rice Burroughs, who created Tarzan, John Carter of Mars, or the book was called Princess of Mars, but later John Carter and the whole 9 yards, got there, and then other characters. So yes, John Carter, that story is reminiscent right there, right? Hero coming from Earth, he's a military man on a different planet, meets a gorgeous princess, tries to save her. Got it. Boom. All right. That works. But it's also very similar to his look of, at the time, Buck Rogers in the 25th century with the jetpack.
Yep.
If you look at the old school Buck Rogers strips, right? He's got that. Once again, man displaced out of time, gets there, sees a woman, like, military man, got you. Let's not forget the other influence. Bear with me. I'm going to try to say this without getting carried away. Flash Gordan. Flash. He is the savior. Right? Okay, so I can't. Okay, right. We know, once again, I did my whole G.I. Joe thing, right? Where G.I. Joe the movie. Okay, so I'm trying not to get into Flash Gordan the same way. But it's so tempting. He is the man that's come to save the universe. Dun, 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 dun. Right?
Right.
Okay. Goosebumps. I'm fighting it. I'm really fighting my inner immature self, which is not too much of a fight. Okay, so Flash, got it. So influenced by Flash Gordan, Buck Rogers, John Carter. Mars Rock's still seeing it. He's gonna make me crack.
The universe. Oh, sorry. Did I say that loud? I apologize.
And that was done by Queen too. Oh my gosh, I love Queen. Okay. Freddie Mercury. Making it hard for me. Okay. All right. I'm good. It's gonna come out of me at some point. I know it's gonna come out of me once I got the lyrics in my head straight. So, influenced by Buck Rogers, Flash Gordan, and John Carter of Mars. And so these people were the influence to Adam Strange. So the look was a little bit Buck Rogers. Teleported to another planet was definitely John Carter. The whole princess being there, that's Flash Gordan, that's John Carter. That you can just copy paste and it's good enough there. Now, the writing, the stories, a little bit tongue in cheek, a little bit whimsical. Right? So I like that. I like that because not everything's got to be deep, dark, and brooding. We have the characters for those. So this is where he gets there, and he gets teleported over to the planet. He tries to do his best because he realizes none of them are real fighters. They're just more,
Pacifist, just very relaxed in that regard.
Yeah. But he's active. He's an archaeologist. He understands, he can hold his own in a fight. He's not a fighter like Batman is, but he's got strategy. He understands, he learned because he has that inquisitive mind. Right. As an archaeologist, he's a learned man, as the saying goes, and he's open to learning about new cultures. So an archaeologist on another world is helping them catalog all the relics from their past of Rann. Now, for them, he's helping them learn. For himself, he's learning something new. It's like he's in outer space, learning about space culture.
Well, before we get even deeper on that, one thing to make notice is that when Adam came over to Rann. Rann had his own dialect, had his own language. Yes. Technically, right from the beginning, Adam, when he got zapped over and Zeta beamed over, he was basically, Barry saying he was getting attacked by some natives, some people, tribal people, whatever the case being, zapped over to Rann. When he arrives on Rann, he's like, what am I? Where am I? What in the world am I? He was at that point being chased by some type of Rann version we will call like a bird,
dragon, something like that.
Dragon, type of sort, whatever the case be. And he was on the run from that. But then Atlanta, we'll get to her, saved him.
Yes.
But as soon as he went to say, "Thank you, my goodness, thanks for saving me. I don't know what the hell is going on. Where are I?" And she started talking, and he had no clue what she said. It was just like pure Charlie Brown, pure Charles Brown in his ear holes. He couldn't understand. No. But at least he took it that, listen, she tried to save me, whatever, and she indicated, come with me, come with me. Luckily enough, her father, as we'll get into, is a man of science and was realizing, oh, this person doesn't understand. Sit right there. Just sit right there. Put basically like a little headband on him.
Yes.
At the moment he put the headband on, and so basically I don't understand who this person is, Dad, but he looked real nice and maybe we can help him out. Yo, I understand what y'all saying. What's going on? Yo, yeah. So that was a main thing to always understand, that at least when Julius came up with, the concept and everything like that, it was great that they understood this person is now maybe visualizing another humanoid, but this person is not human of Earth. So we got to make it very different and distinct to make you realize that he's definitely stepping into an unknown world, a strange new world.
Rah!
So we had to go that particular route. So it was great that they had the opportunity to give him the ability to realize, like, this is something that we're going to have to learn through different cultures, which you will find later on in the series, that this situation comes back again. They made it so if there were ever a need to, he had to like lose the band or lose the ability to speak their native tongue. So we gave him that. So at this point now he can continue and then build to learn Rann, their cultures, about themselves, and learn how to help them with their history, as Barry was saying, so they can further themselves in the future.
Yes.
But that was one main trial that had to be overcome, and it was great that we were able to add that. So that's something that basically is a good dynamic to the whole situation that he walked right into.
Yeah, and that's what makes the character so different in that aspect, right? It wasn't tragedy, it was nothing. We don't really know much about his life on Earth, and they never really covered it. He just seemed to be, from what you get, he's alone. So nothing was really tying him to Earth, right? You don't hear about his parents being alive. You don't hear about siblings or any extended family. So maybe he's not close to them. Maybe being an archaeologist, he's always on the go. So he's not really in touch with family. He's just really in the pursuit of his own knowledge. So he's on Earth. He's got no ties. I think that's an and everyone on, at some point you might have family members. So I would like to think that would be a cool storyline, and at some time in the future that they would explore his family ties, his family history, right? Just to talk about it, just to see what it is. And here's like, and I'm kind of off point here for a second, but when it says name Adam Strange, I always believe there's certain characters that have names that we know them as, but that's not their real name, and they covered that in one of them, Rip Hunter, the Time Master, he's time traveler. Right? Everyone knows him as Rip Hunter. But at one point in the miniseries, he's like, yeah, Rip Hunter is not my real name. He's like, what? He goes, yeah, I had to be smart because as a time traveler, I had to change my name because if people who knew who I really was, they would try to probably terminate or do the Terminator, Sarah Connor, get the mom before the childbirth scenario. So he calls himself Rip Hunter so no one can find anything about his family, which I think was smart. Adam Strange, Strange could be his last name. I mean, look, it is Doctor Strange in the Marvel Universe, but maybe Adam Strange is just a name that it was an acronym. Maybe he made something up. Maybe it was Mr. So it's not going to say Mr. Strange. It could be, well, yeah, people call me Strange. I go by Adam. Just call me Adam Strange, right? It's like, so that's a different story, but that's my 2 cents thought on it, right? How it can be done now. So as an archaeologist, as the inquisitive mind wants to know, he's understanding technology. He's learning about that. He's helping bridge. The importance with Adam Strange is his role in DC. He's the character that has the most experience with alien races. Right? Forget all the aliens that come to Earth. Forget it. Let's scratch that, right? Superman, alien, came to Earth. Last son of Krypton. Martian Manhunter, came to Earth. All right. But he's out there dealing with alien cultures on a regular basis.
Basics. Yep.
Earth only sees them when they send one bad guy or one good guy, or maybe the odd time, let's do an annual invasion. Okay, boom. That's it. Rest of the time, he's dealing with them. So I get the feeling for myself with Adam Strange. So, he's the explorer. He's the archaeologist. So let me go, and I'll put a pin in that, come back in a second. So Adam Strange, does he have any powers? No. No. He's in decent shape. He can hold his own ish in a fight, but he has advanced technology that he uses to his advantage. So he's got his nice red costume, which also doubles as a spacesuit, right? So it's pressurized. He's got the old school bubble helmet, which they upgraded it to give him more of like a nice proper helmet with a proper visor, which it will help him in space. He's got the old school looking jetpack, right? So literally like the Rocketeer, the two tanks on his back in white. So his colors are white, red, and he's got a little gold emblem on it with wings on it. And he's become like the hero of Rann. With a laser blaster, he's got that and his intelligence. Now he's had that look for a long time. And then in 2004, there was a miniseries, and it was an 8-issue miniseries. They packed it together as a graphic, like a one-shot, like kind of a graphic novel, and they call it Planet Heist. Right. If you get it all together. Now, when they did Planet Heist, they did an upgrade of his costume. For science, how it should be, I think that was cool, because he would have his armor, he would be there. It was a little bit more thicker. I like that. And if he needed a gun, the gun would materialize, and it looked like it was almost transparent, but it was a gun. If he needed a hand cannon, it would materialize partly on his forearm and then sticking out underneath his hand. But it would materialize out of like solid light, and these would be his weapons. So they would come and go. And I thought that was a nice touch for someone that came from a planet of super science, as they replay to it. So it's not even science, but super science, iconist. So that's how it came down. I was like, that is amazing. And I like that look and that storyline, that arc with Planet Heist, because in there at this point, so beginning of his career, we all know that's a space girlfriend. That's how they refer to her in all quotes. He's got a space girlfriend in outer space. The thing with a Zeta beam is it's temporary.
Yeah. That's a little, you gotta work
awkward
on
situations.
That. Just an awkward.
So what would happen is he got hit with that Zeta beam. He got transported to Rann the first time. He went through his adventures. When the energy from the Zeta beam wears off on his body, he automatically gets, no matter where he's at, no matter what he's doing, back to Earth.
What the what?
Right. So he had to sit there in his apartment and he had to calculate. Okay, they sent off more than one Zeta beam. When's the next one going to arrive? I got to get the coordinates. I got to get the time, and I got to get there. Right. So at moments, it has him like using mathematical skills. He's on top of a building and he's jumping off the building. And people are like, what are you doing? Don't jump. Don't worry about it. Zoom. And he get taken up by the Zeta beam. Right. He's jumping off of cliffs. He's going into like enemy territory sometimes, or violent regions of the earth where, violent tribes, because he's over maybe in Africa and being chased and they don't understand what's going on, and zoom. And he has it timed, but he's not on Earth that much. He spends his time there. So on Earth, his stuff kind of falls, his credit gone. He's not making any money. His apartment, he gets evicted because he's never there, because he's so worried, not worried, he's so concentrated on being on Rann that he just wants to use all the money he can in his savings to always be there. So there's times where he knows that Zeta beam wears off and he has contingency plans on Earth. It'll wear off, he'll get teleported back to the last spot he was at. So he's got a helicopter hidden in the bushes. All right, let me go and get the helicopter, fly back, do my calculations. That Zeta beam will be coming here in 3 days. Okay. And he takes off and goes there. But that's all money. He ain't a rich man.
So here's the thing. Now, if anybody's wondering, like, how did he know about how, like, he has to calculate where the beams are coming, but he got to know the beams are coming.
Yes.
What he found out after his first trip to Rann, Sadek basically told him, listen, what I figured out is that all I was doing, as we said earlier, is that we were just trying to send out communication. And it just come to your planet and it turned into some type of transporting beam.
Yeah.
What was originally done, Sadak was setting out this multiple times, very frequently, very often, just sending out beams, just trying to communicate with nearby things. The scenario is that the distance between the length of time from Earth to Rann is 4.5 years. It takes a beam 4.5 years to travel from one point to the other. But because Sadak was sending that out, let's say at 1:00, and then he sent another one a day from now, at whatever the case to be, whatever time, it's been constant. So this is where Adam now on the receiving end, Sadak said when he left the first time, he said, this is what I've sent it very often. So just to give you a base idea. So that's why Adam would now know that, okay, it's coming. 4.5 years to get here, but it's going to come here probably in a day or so. So now that's how he works the calculations.
Yes.
And because again, as Barry said, he's a very intelligent individual, and he realized at least the coordinating of being an archaeologist. He just knows what he needs to, where to go to dig, that type of, problem solving. And he basically took that to the level of like, okay, if I want to get back to a very interesting individual, I'm going to do what I got to do. Man, bringing up paper, pen, calculator. He's using the bead dial, just to calculate and just looking at the sun and get the coordinates, and like it should be right over here. And then he will be able to make that leap off the building and jump in. But then those are the funny part, that if you go back at the exact same place where you took off, you were flying through the air. Better have a man at the bottom. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. well, that's it. And interesting, and that's what makes it whimsical and funny, because you see this guy jumping off of buildings, off of cliffs, and you think, okay, he's jumping to certain doom. Nope, he's getting zapped. So that's one. Two, his storylines. To me, he's the emissary into the DC universe for aliens, the cosmic entities. Because of him, he can be that ambassador, especially for Thanagar. So that's Hawkman, Hawkgirl, that whole planet, everything there. We can learn that culture from the human perspective, and that's what they wanted. They needed a human voice in outer space. That's how we got it. Adam Strange, right on. He's been there in a lot of times. So a couple of things that always make me pop in my head is like, how come the Zeta beam only affects Adam Strange and never got anyone else by fluke, or and that would be an interesting storyline. So that's one. Two, as the hero, he's always got to find ways, because he's defending a whole planet. So he's got to find ways. And a lot of times, even though he's like shooting and punching, that's not the whole thing. He has to think and outthink his enemies how to do it. How dangerous is Adam Strange? Let's put it this way. One point, he turned around, his planet Rann got kidnapped or enslaved by these aliens that were telepathic. He took down the whole Justice League of America. That's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the rest, Flash. So all powerhouses teleported him to Rann, enslaved them. They thought he was gone crazy, but it was part of its plan. But he couldn't let them know what the plan was, because that alien race could read people's minds. So he had to shield his mind and his thoughts of what he was doing, bring in the League, and enslave them. He found a way to bring down Superman. Hold up. What? Yeah.
That's Batman level. That's Batman level kind of thinking. That's how you got to look at
strategy. So that's why I mean he's up there as a strategist. So that's where he really shines. There was another time where he got stranded with Starfire, and I can't remember who else it was, one other person, and he's on a planet, and he's blind, and he fixes a spaceship blind to bring them back to Rann, but he's blind, like permanently lost his vision, and he got his eyes back because Sardith, at this point, would be his father-in-law, because he married Elena, made clone of his daughter's eyes. And this is the New 52, and gave it to Adam. But then he enhanced it, so this way Adam can see into the electromagnetic, fields through it. So that's his only body function upgrade. But so blind, he fixed the spaceship. He fixed the spaceship, not the other two people with him. Saved this planet multiple times. And then in that mini series I was telling you about, which is called, it's grouped together, and it's called Planet Heist, he finally decides to come back to Earth and says, that's it, I'm done with Earth. Not because anything bad happened. He's had so many adventures. At this point, Sardith has figured out a way to make the Zeta beam permanent. So he won't have these moments of he just disappears mid-adventure and has to find his way back. He's married to Lana. He's got a daughter. He's happy. There's nothing left for him on Earth. So he's come back on Earth to wrap up the last of his affairs. So we realize he lives in Gotham City. What? Oh, okay.
Interesting.
See, he lives in Gotham City. Gets there. He's packing up his stuff. He's waiting for the beam to show up. The beam doesn't come up. He reaches out to his contacts. So that's, like Superman and all that. And they tell him that the planet, the sun where the planet Ranagar was, it went supernova. Everything got destroyed. Superman couldn't save it. But it was also part of a ploy and a scheme. And if you read the book, you'll realize that it didn't get destroyed. The planet got moved. And he gets back out there, man of action. But of course, he's being hunted down, by people in outer space, people on Earth. It's a good storyline. It's one of my favorite ones. So that's say it with your chest. That's my Adam Strange. And there's a lot more. And he always comes in. So Adam Strange has shown up in Young Justice.
Right.
I like how they did him, but I still want him to be, they made him younger. I still wanted him to be the older Adam Strange. So you see him there. And then his biggest claim to fame, in my opinion, was on the TV show Krypton.
Right.
Now, I like Krypton. I didn't think I was going to like Krypton, but I did. I liked the show Krypton.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked Adam Strange. And I'm like, oh, you actually bring in Adam Strange, but I'm like, and you kept this storyline somewhat accurate.
Yeah, about to say very similar.
Right? He was in there. He had a baseball cap. He's trying to convince Superman's grandfather he's got to follow a certain path because, Superman, time travel and all that. So there's different things they took on the aspect of it. And I'm like, okay. And then the Zeta beam they mentioned, but the Zeta beam was also used to transport him through time and space, not just through space.
Right.
Okay. And then at the end of Krypton, fight breaks out, season finale, almost kind of thing. I know they're bringing out Doomsday. He gets hit. His back gets broken. So they give him an exoskeleton suit. And the suit they give him is this classic red and white suit with the jetpack on it so he can get around. I'm like, finally, you put the man in costume. And then they didn't renew the show. Fine. They had him in his classic costume. They mentioned they were bringing in Thanagar and other races, and they showed them. But you see the Thanagarians. I'm like, yeah, the Wings, Hawkmen's people. Here we go, man. All right, cool. I'm good with this. And then they cut it. They didn't renew the show. Yeah, punks.
It's okay. We'll
HBO, bring it back.
They'll bring it back.
Did you enjoy Krypton when you watched Krypton, Rod?
I did. It was very interesting in regards of pairing those two worlds together. And I was like, very interesting because again, Adam Strange and going Zeta being going, like you said, going to Rann, but now he's going back in time. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And the scenario was that, he was younger. He was a college student in that regard. He was an archaeologist, but he was, as I said, he was, I think he dropped out. So they didn't even give him like the full potential. So it made me think this is early years of his career, but then it didn't kind of follow suit that, he would have been an established archaeologist when he was zapped, whatever the case is.
Yes.
So, they slightly changed it about. And again, having going back. Yeah, exactly. No, it's okay. But going back in time and meeting with, Superman's grandfather and just basically explaining him the necessity of him trying to uphold the family name and basically saying the House of L needs to be at a certain peak. You know what I mean? You got to, don't give up hope, whatever issues happening that, at Krypton and and that time of frame, 200 years in the past, don't let it get you down. Your house is supposed to be one of the great houses of Krypton. We need you to do that, kid. If not, in the future, it was Brainiac, right?
Yeah.
It was Brainiac. Why my mind just went blank? It had to be Brainiac. Who had basically went back in time and basically tried to erase Superman. So it needed to be, it's like grandfather type of paradox type of thing. You got to make sure you do this. This is what it is. So you got to make sure that you do this. So I mean, it was a great way of fusing those two worlds together. Mm-hmm. And it was definitely building up, getting good, bringing in the House of Zod in and everything like that. I know we're going
Yes.
off slightly, but it just to show that, and then they kind of
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. They did. They did.
we'll be back in 6 months, everybody. Take a break, we'll
Nope.
be back, and then
Yeah. I mean, look, I like the actor that was playing him,
Mhm.
and nothing knocking the actor. But I'd like to see who we're gonna go with right now. So that's our whole take on Adam Strange. Interesting character, been around forever. His miniseries are always been fire. I think it's hard to do an ongoing series with him at times because some writers don't get it. I mean, like Alan Moore came in and did his take on it, and it was like, okay, cool. And then Alan Moore said, well, the only reason you're here is to breed because everyone on this planet on Rann is sterile. So they're just bringing you for breeding stock. I'm like,
we nearly had you. We nearly had you.
Iconist. Okay, so we talked about him, and I said, can this character come back? Yeah, if they wanted, if Warner Brothers wants to be different, well, not want to be different. I mean, there's a lot of superhero stuff out there, and it's always trying to do things on different angles. So I know Marvel does things at different angles, serious, comical, for young, for old, mix mash, and they try to give you different angles, spy, over the top, magic. Okay, so, and that's cool. That's great because you need a variety within the genre. And my point is, with Adam Strange, he would be a good variety. Okay, we all know Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. We know where they come from. It's always the soups in their suits and fighting evil. And you got to go with a little bit of a different take on it. Not everything is always going to be successful, but you got to try, right? That's the main thing in life. This one, Adam Strange, would be different because it would give us a glimpse into maybe not the heroes, but the cultures that span maybe future heroes. So Thanagar, right?
Right.
The planet of Oa.
Right.
Okay. Dexum, which is like close to Krypton, where Mon-El and his people come from, because they were mentioned. He's your space explorer, and he would team up with some of those cosmic heroes and bring them together.
Yeah.
And open you up to alien races. Like Valorant and the thousands. Yeah. That movie. It would open you up to a lot more of the DC universe. So when you see these characters make an appearance in futures or hear them mentioned, you're like, saw it in Adam Strange. I'm good. That's my point. So Rob, who would you want to see play Adam Strange?
Well, you know what? I was trying to I've always tried to be either just a little offset, just someone that you would, I think you give something similar to it. So I was gonna go with Alex Pettyfer. Pettyfer.
Alex Pettyfer?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, Alex Pettyfer, he was, if you remember, 10 years ago, just over 10 years ago, there was a movie, I Am Number 4.
Yes.
Because of, right. He basically, so I Am Number 4, basically he was an alien. In the storyline, he was an alien from another world who came to Earth to hide out, because there were, rulers basically trying to, eliminate him and everything like that. But he basically had superpowers. Well, he had like abilities. I say superpower, but he had abilities. Be able to like, repulsive blast from his hands and stuff like that. But this particular character had that, agility to be like a superhero. He had the agility to be very, very, very movable in, along that line. So when we think of Adam Strange is, again, when Barry was mentioning Adam Strange, his uniform was the red and white, and he always had the jetpack. So this individual was always in action, always moving, being, like you said, he's a forward thinker, trying to think how to outdo his enemies and along that line, and so forth. So I need to find a person who has the looks and the builds to be an athletic build, who has the ability, who's worked on having characters that he could personify, the confidence and the forte to be, someone that you could be a born leader. Like, there's something about you that I'm going to have to listen.
Right.
And this is stuff that I kind of go through the mental Rolodex or whatever the case be. And I remember this movie, and I was like, yeah, let me check him out. And then I'm realizing, yeah, this makes some good sense. So Alex Pettifer is my recommendation to play Adam Strange. Again, always, back in the days, you got to have that square jawline and
Yeah.
and everything like that. The curly blonde hair, that kind of thing, just giving that kind of like that playboy kind of good looking guy, or whatever the case would be. Because again, that was the way it was drawn back then. But I want to give him that ability to say, like saying, it's like, yeah, I can see you in an outfit. Give him a jetpack.
Okay.
Give him a helmet. Let's go.
So here's my question. Would you see this as a movie or limited series?
In my head, I would like a movie, but not like just a one standalone. I'm looking at either 2, maybe 3, that you can get the storyline of him. Because at that point then, like you said, get him to open up the story in the first one. Second one, you start to break in more about his relationship and his understanding. Like you're saying, now he has to understand he's on Earth. How is he calculating to go back? Because technically, to me, the first one will be him getting to Rann, and just basically the majority of the movie is there. On the last second, he's been told by Zeta that he's going to get pulled back at any moment, but you're getting yourself prepared, and that'll be the cliffhanger. He goes off. So part 2 is him now. You see him, you're seeing him feverishly trying to figure this thing out, whatever the case to be. And then maybe the first act of part 2, he's going through the process of trying to figure out how to get back. And the third one, then we would say, okay, we will now say, okay, he's now getting an understanding of how to do it back and forth. Now he becomes the explorer, the galactical explorer. I heard you guys were talking about Thangorian. Who's that? What? Okay, what planet or what? What?
Yeah.
Let me get some more information. Tell me more. Build my mind. Bam. That would be a way to get at least a 3-part story on that.
Got you. All right. I like it. I see where you're going. We're almost on the same page. It's a strong bloodline. Bloodline. Here we go. I'm gonna hit you with this. So first of all, my pick for it is going to be Barry Atsma. Atsma. And not because he has the same name Barry like me, but he got points for that. Right? A little bit of an older actor, but he doesn't look his age. Right. He's fit. He's got that square jawline. He looks like he would be someone more as a thinker than as a fighter. So I like this. He gonna look good in the suit, in my opinion. So this is how I'm gonna go. Barry Atsma definitely is who I would say as Adam Strange in the DCU, the DC cinematic universe, right? The DC is whatever. Whatever. Got it. Here we go. So Barry Atsma, that's who I'm going for. He was in a movie with Simon Pegg, in 2014, like Happiness. There was a Hector and Happiness. It's on Netflix. You can find it. He also showed up, had a small role in the Hitman's Bodyguard. So I like this actor. What this actor tells me is he can be whimsical and serious at the same time. This goes my feel. Hold up, here it goes. Now with you, I'm with you on a movie. With you on a movie aspect. I don't want a limited series. This could be a big budget movie. So DC, if you're listening, here we go. This can easily be 4 movies. Last movie's a 2-parter. Right?
Okay.
I need the writing team of, hold on, I've got his name. We'll pull it up. So I need the screenwriter from The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. This is who has to do it, right? Which is Stephen Sommers. So Stephen Sommers did The Mummy Returns, Van Helsing, and G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. So I like his writing style. I like he puts a little bit of humor, but it's a lot of action in it.
Okay.
He does a good blend. So you give me Stephen Sommers as the screenwriter, get me the same director as The Mummy. I got to look that up, right? With Brendan Fraser. You give me Brian Atsma as my Adam Strange. And that's the feel I want to have of that. It's almost like The Mummy in outer space. First movie, yes. Origin movie, shows how he gets to Rann, him kind of overcoming, learning their culture, finding out stuff, helping them out, being a champion. throwing the whole thing that, oh, wait, you gotta bring me here as breeding stock, and like, no, we want you as a champion, just as a little bit throwback to Alan Moore, and people who read the book would say, that's funny, right? So that's the whole thing. As you put it, end of that movie, back to Earth. Number 2. Okay, I gotta figure what's going on. I gotta figure out, get back to the planet. I gotta get back to the planet, right? He gets back to the planet, and during that, do part their own version of the Planet Heist episode, where it says, well, he's been back here for months. He do some little flashbacks of Adam has stopped this invasion. He's helped this with diplomacy. He's helped this here. He's done that here. But now this brings him to, the planet Heist scenario where he's like, well, I'm deciding to stay on this planet. You fixed the Zeta beam technology. Thank you very much. Let me go back to Earth one more time, wrap up my affairs on Earth, come back here, and move on. So in the first movie, you could make it go that he goes through the whole learning curve, their boyfriend and girlfriend with Alana. Second movie, let it come back, do a time jump. Said it's been a couple of years since then, and in the in-between time, like how they did Watchmen, just do a music montage, show him different things, let us understand that time has gone on, that he's been a champion, to show some of his past adventures, like one panel freeze frames or, bullet time. Good. And bring it up that him and Alana are together, they're married, maybe make her pregnant. Let him come back to Earth to wrap up stuff.
Right.
Boom. He can't get back. He's trying to use his science. Maybe make a crossover. Let have one of the Justice League make an appearance, like Superman, maybe, just like how it was in that book, in that 8-issue miniseries, right? Bring back Henry Cavill so do that. Go through the Planet Heist episode as a movie, trying to find out what happened to Rann, deal with the depression of losing his wife, find out that he was lied to, being hunted down by bounty hunters on Earth in outer space, get back there, his updated armor, boom, because they always got to update the armor. So first movie, classic look. Second movie, that big, bulky, light, holographic armor. Okay, you're with me so far, right? Cool. Yep. Then third movie, part 1, Rann Thanagarian War. Because now that Rann is now within the same solar system as Thanagar, and Thanagar is trying to conquer and stuff like that. Part 1. And in part 1, you can bring in Hawkman, Hawkgirl, and Shadow Thief along with it, right? And that's part 1, because they're trying to start the Rann Thanagarian War. And in part 1, it's just the 3 of them trying to deal with it. And then part 2, do the bigger version. So you got to make it kind of blend. So the whole part 1 and part 2 is the Rann Thanagarian War. At the end, Adam Strange is there. His wife is there. He's permanently on Rann. He's got his daughter. He's got his wife. And the adventure continues. But make sure that we have influences from the other races. And we can even bring in, you don't have to bring in the Justice League. You can make mention of the Justice League. But you can bring in other heroes like Captain Comet, who he has teamed up with.
Okay.
You could bring in a different Green Lantern altogether. It doesn't have to be Hal Jordan. It doesn't have to be John Stewart. You could bring in Guy Gardner. You can bring in Kyle. You could bring in one of the other Green Lanterns who defined another sector of space who were not even there. So you can bring in Kilowog.
About to say, yep.
Right? Well, okay. So that there is what it is. 4 movies, but 3 pictures. Arc. 1, Origin. 2, as I said, Planet Heist. 3, part 1 and part 2, the Rann Thanagarian War. Woo! Do it with Steven Summers writing the screenplay, so it's high action. It's got its comedy, just like the Mummy movie, because the first Mummy movie had that. The second Mummy movie had that. Have that pacing to it. DC, thank you very much. Warner Brothers, you're welcome. We, as the Iconis Podcast, need exclusive rights to interviews with the stars for our podcast, because we just cast this whole thing for you and we want to be on set. Pay a brother.
That's all we're asking. Not a lot. Just, it's not, we're not asking for a lot of stuff. Just, a couple interviews.
Yeah. Not that I gave this a lot of thought.
No, far from that. Far from that at all. I never noticed that. Did you all notice that? I didn't. As you hear the paper rustling underneath. No, I didn't hear a... No, far from that.
Oh, shoot. Right on. So this brings us to the last point. So once again, let's just wrap this up. So Rod, who are you going with Adam Strange again?
So I'm going with Alex Pettyfer.
Right?
Pettyfer. That's who I'm going with.
Got it.
And you are going with?
I'm going with Barry Atzma.
Got it.
yeah, he's got a long acting career, but we'll know him from the Hitman's Bodyguard and Hector and Happiness with Simon Pegg. So yes, that's who we're going. So you got Simon. Sorry, you got.
We got Alex. And we have Barry.
So we got Alex and Barry. That's who our choices are for Adam Strange. We clearly see that I've given it some direction, some thought with the director and screenplay and theme and pace of this movie, and it would be different because it would be a movie where it would be action and comedy be together. So, would love that. This has been the Iconist podcast. Any last words, Rod?
Listen, as always, everyone, we're glad that you're here with us today. Make sure you hit that share button. Let everybody know that we're on. We're having fun. Join the camaraderie of what we got. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. Listen, we just got to spread the love. We're having some fun out here and we just want to spread it with everybody. So make sure that you are still with us. Tag on for the ride. We still got more to go.
That's right. And on that note, this whole world was created by a pencil, a piece of paper, and lots of imagination. Keep on dreaming.
Let's do it. Wait. Don't go too fast. You know what you got to do.
I've been trying to fight it, man. Flash Gordan. Do it, Rod. Do it.
Let's go. Oh, you know what? Yeah, before we get
Flash. He is the band that came to save the universe. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'll get it by next time. You know, it's got stuck in my head. I'm looking up the lyrics. All right, I'm Zeta beating out of here. I got it in the chat. So, peace.
Peace out.